Welcome back to. Oh, sorry about that. My lamp basically mixed up here. This is episode number 1997, Doubleshot number 1891. We got a Marvel trade and an Image trade. First up is Marvel trade, which is Star Wars Age of Resistance villains. Yes, of these villains, by the time of the last movie of the trilogy, at least all of these villains are all dead. Mostly, anyways. Now, we actually have the short stories here are for Captain Phasma, General Hux, Kylo Ren, and Supreme Leader Snoke. The writing here is done by, of course, Tom Taylor. The artwork for pretty much all the one-shots are here done by Leonard Kirk. The cover art is done by Phil Noto. The first one is focused on Captain Phasma, which I believe this is actually the third. It's actually the first and only one she actually had. Yeah, mostly put, this is kind of her. This is just a story for her set before the events of The Force Awakens. And also, we see her with our helmet. We don't see her full face per se. We do see that she's blonde hair. The only ever hint we ever actually see her with blonde hair is actually in, get this, her own solo novel. Yep. Now here's the thing. We don't show her face. Not really. Not fully per se. Because they want to keep her mysterious. Of course, she's played by Gwendolyn Christie. The actress also has blonde hair as well. I heard she's described as a very beautiful woman. I still think she looks okay. I don't think she's a terrible looking woman. But yeah, this is mostly put basically just a story for her before the events of Force Awakens. Is it directly before Force Awakens? Not really sure. Is it weird though the fact that she's actually in two one-shots? Yeah, she's in this one and the Finn one-shot. Yeah. Just a story for her, what she was up to before the events of Force Awakens. That's literally what this one is. The next one's on General Hux. We kind of get a little bit of his backstory, where apparently years prior, he was held mistreated by his own father, and the fact that he actually, was basically become his father's servant, and later became a general in the First Order. Also point out that his father is wearing a uniform associated with the Empire. Yep. And apparently it's illegitimate. Of course, it is mentioned, I believe, in the Phasma novel that he actually murdered his father. Yeah. The fact that it's actually well known in the hierarchy of the First Order that he murdered his father. And this kind of in the way is just him just building up his reputation, like a little bit of his backstory per se. Like basically just more of him prior to the events of Force Awakens, just deal with like a creature. We have a guy basically look like Han Solo with a beard, but not really. It's a really interesting uniform per se. Yeah, but and then we see him actually murder his father. Yep, he murders his father. Yep. And then we focus on Snoke. Yes. When Kylo Ren showed up in the Finn one-shot, he didn't say anything at all. Mostly, you could say this is just set during Kylo Ren's training, and the fact he really wants to be Darth Vader. But that's it. It doesn't focus on Snoke at all. It's mostly just a... Here's the thing. It being called Snoke is a big fat lie. This focus on Kylo Ren, with Snoke basically being a supporting character in his own one-shot. Because, for some strange reason, before Rise of Skywalker, we can't explain anything about Snoke, the most mysterious character in the current trilogy, and nothing about him is explored until it's filled, oh, he's a clone of Palpatine. That's it. Yeah. You would think this focus on him. Nope. This focuses on Kylo Ren. And we have a one-shot for Kylo Ren. Why the heck we focus on this for? I have no freaking idea. The Kylo Ren one-shot does kind of focus on him, which is good. It's just a story for him, prior to the events of Force Awakens. Just him dealing with some people. Just basically, just a day, just a regular business day when it comes to Kylo Ren, deal with stuff and resistance, and that's pretty much it. Yes. It's basically new some take a leadership with some creatures, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. If you think about it, probably the best one shot is Captain Phasma because actually focused on her. I would say just behind that is probably General Hux because that was focused on him as well. The Snoke one shot, being called Snoke, was a big fat lie. Because it's called Snoke. Does not focus on him. It's all about Kylo Ren. Snoke is simply put a background character in his own freaking one shot. So basically, we have 2 one shots for Kylo Ren in this book because apparently we had to say, oh yeah, we're going to focus on Snoke, what he was up to before the events of Force Awakens. Not really. It's just him basically training with Kylo Ren. It's a Kylo Ren one shot. So basically, you have 2 in here. Yeah. So, I like the Heroes one. Actually, that was really good. This one, oh my gosh. Okay, so, like I said, the Kylo Ren shot is actually pretty easy. I'd say the worst one shot is the Snoke one. The title's a lie, and the fact it's not a very good story. The best story has got to go to Captain Phasma. I would say second best is probably General Hux. Yep, give this book a 9 out of 10, but that's not the end of the heroes and villain stuff. So I got the other ages, but that was basically from the Age of Resistance. Alright, next up is the most recent trade release for Spawn Origins Collection. This is volume 23. This contained issues 135 to 140. I should point out, though, I am not a fan of this era of Spawn. Purely because, basically, you don't have a lot going on here. No, seriously, for these 6 issues, which, by the way, came out from the period of... Oh, by the way, the art writing is done by Tom McFarlane, Brian Hooligan, with artwork by Angel Medina, and for the exception of issues 130 140 is basically Nate Jones. The cover is done by Greg Capullo. Yep. This is from May 2004 to... I think it's supposed to be like November 2004, I think it is. Shoot, stupid thing here. Yeah, November 2004. Now, you don't really have a lot going on here. It's mostly just the clown, how should I put this? He is possessing Jason Wynn throughout these issues. It's just a series of random stuff happening. And you can kind of see, if you read these issues, just, oh, let's have clown possess people, including Jason Wynn. Have Jason put on like 40 pounds. And even Jason Wynn is basically just a freaking bodybuilder. Have Spawn held hostage for basically this whole period of time. The best way to describe these issues is that they are boring. Yes, seriously. Because you don't have a lot going on here. You have Spawn freed. And they have a bunch of you have Sam and Twitch do these weird poses at one point in the book. Yes, seriously. It just, let's have basically a possession storyline where a clown possesses people. Okay. And present it in the most boringest fashion possible. Yes. Now, despite that, it does have good artwork. That's the best thing you can say about these issues. It seems as though the first 100 issues are really good, but then afterwards, it slowly trickles down. And you can see probably why that Tom McFarlane switched out Al Simmons with Jim Downing for a brief period of time, due to the fact that, well, the book basically was just not the same. Brian Hooligan does an okay job writing Spawn himself, but man, this storyline is boring. I read this again because I originally read these issues several years ago online. And man, like I said, boring. That's the problem with the storyline, is boring. Like, I am not a fan of clown, have a whole story arc of him possessing people. Yeah, that's literally what happens here. anything really shocking happen in this storyline? Well, not until the very end, where it doesn't even focus on Spawn. It focuses on a female Spawn from, like, the Crusades. Yeah, seriously, that's the whole point of issue 140. It does focus on present-day Spawn, focus on from the Crusades, which that I found to be a lot more interesting than freaking, like, clown possession. I give this book roughly an 8.5 out of 10. It feels like a really step down, but hopefully, now you might be curious though, what about the remaining volumes? I haven't really discussed it, basically volumes 16 to 21. I will get those featured, don't worry about that. But that's going to be pretty much it for Stickler Review. Next up is going to be Case Closed. I'm working on that next, okay? Next video. Bye.